G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the west side of the map, playing as the Chinese in the color red, representing Izzy Esports. It's Marine Lord. And on the east side of the map in the color blue, playing as the Malians, representing 3D. It's B. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dry Arabia. We're here casting some Golden League games, baby. It is great to be here. I'm looking forward to seeing how this game goes. For anybody who doesn't know, we're in the final weekend now of EGC TV's Golden League 2 Stage 1. So, Stage 2 is going to be coming up next week. But of course, when this video goes live, about 2 hours after it goes live, EGC TV will be live with the grand finals of this event, or at least of this stage. So these two guys are vying for a position at the moment in the event, or at least in the tournament. They're aiming to get to the grand finals. For anybody who doesn't know, Marine Lord actually lost to 3DB in the early stages of this event. So I think it might have been the third round, and it was a best of 3 at that point. And Marine Lord lost 2-1 against 3DB. So at this point in the series, Marine Lord is already up 1 game. This is going to be the second game of the series that we're going to be casting here. Now, I'm not going to be casting every single game in every single series, just simply because if a game goes for 6 minutes or 7 minutes, it's just not worth me putting that up on YouTube, because the reality is that YouTube's not going to recommend it to people to watch, and people aren't going to watch it. And at the end of the day, you know, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. So I'm just gonna let you know that it was a quick game. It was a short game, and that Marine Lord did come out victorious. But in this game, B's obviously going to be looking to strike one back here. It's an interesting matchup, the Chinese versus the Malians. Definitely not something that we see a whole lot, especially on open maps like Dry Arabia. Malians are pretty common, but the Chinese, obviously we prefer to keep them on the closed maps where they can boom off. But I think that the mindset's kind of changing with the Chinese. Now, this civilization, the Chinese, a lot of people had kind of picked it to be an S-tier civilization in this season. For me personally, I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, I love the civilization. I miss it a huge amount, but at the same time, I can't see it being an S-tier civilization. So I'm curious to see what Marine Lord's going to be bringing out today, because going up against B, I think there's a couple things that we know are going to be on the cards. Number one, there's going to be some sort of fast castle. He's going to be looking to do that with a Furuma garrison. He's going to try and pick up relics. And there's always the option for trade later on in the game that he might look to do. You know, whether he trades to one of these trading posts or not. Maybe he trades to this one and then just sticks his market somewhere over here. Probably makes a bit more sense. But obviously, it's not the best trading post. But it seems quite standard. People just, you know, irrespective of the spawn that they get, irrespective of the map, they'll just look to put down that landmark, the Saharan Trade Network, over on their gold. But 3DB in beautiful 3D style just says, actually, Drongo, we're going with the Malians Quarry today. It's not going to be trade. So there we go. We've got our answer. There's not going to be any trade. Now, obviously, there's always the opportunity for a flip. We've seen this before where people, you know, Salami in particular, he goes for the trade landmark, doesn't trade, and then also goes for the Malians Quarry, does trade. So, you know, you telegraph to your opponent, but there's also a little bit of mind games that are there. Now, over on the other side of the map, Marine Lord, he's got a beautiful spot for his Imperial Academy right here. This is perfect spot, or a perfect location for it. You want to get it as close to the wood as possible, and he still obviously hits his mill here, so this is a really, really nice position he's got. No chance of getting that stone in, so it makes sense not even trying to go for it, but this is going to give him great coverage here, moving into it. Now, I'm curious what kind of opening he goes for. I think that you can probably justify going like a 2-town center Song dynasty into a fast castle. The problem is going to be that I feel like the Malians are quite quick out of the gate. You know, when you think about civilizations like the Ottomans, they're a little bit slower out of the gate. You know, it's a bit more of a trickle of units, and then that slowly builds up to, you know, it's like a waterfall, and the tap turns on slowly over an hour. Whereas with the Malians, it's just like the floodgates just open, and everything just, they throw it all at you, the kitchen sink. So that's always something to watch for, and we do actually see it's a double scout opening from B. So the chance of warrior scouts coming out, I'd say, is likely. Let's take a look in his base and see what we've got. And it's going to be the stable thrown down. So warrior scouts is definitely going to be on the card here. Does a good job with the sheep as well. Got plenty of carcasses under the TC, and 8 more sheep going to be rolling in. So he's moving across the map and going to be looking to apply pressure to that Barbican, because normally when you're looking to put down your Barbican, you're looking to try and put it outside the range of the town center. If we look at Marine Lord's perspective here, you can see that, I mean, for me, ideally, I'd love to put it on the gold mine, but it's hard because the Imperial Academy's here. I'd still probably go for my Barbican right here. It's a bit of an awkward spot, being so close. the problem that you're going to have is that you want to grab stone for your second town center. So Marine Lord obviously realizing that. He sees the double scouts. He knows that warrior scouts are going to be on the way. He throws down a barrack. So very smart move here from Marine Lord. Obviously one of the best players. Sorry, obviously the best player in the world at the moment. So I'm curious to see how he does in this game. Obviously, first game was up, or he's been up. I think that game was the Delhi Sultanate versus the Holy Roman Empire. So if you did want to go watch that one, go check out EGC TV. I'm sure they'll be uploading it to their YouTube at some point. We can see the Warrior Scout coming out. He had his little ice skates on for the moment. Spearman going to be coming out here. Now, keep in mind, Warrior Scouts only do 7 damage. Spearman, these guys have got a nice little counter here. Extra 17 damage against cavalry. So I'm curious how it would go, but I suspect the Spearman should be victorious here. Hardened Spearman coming through as well. And beautiful little defense there from Marine Lord. Great micro. Just avoiding, making sure he's not getting hit by more than one Warrior Scout at a time. And now we see that second and third Spearman going to be coming out. Not actually supervising them. And starting to stack up wood, obviously realizing that he's not going to be able to access stone at the moment. And we start to see more and more Warrior Scouts come through. And there's a good reason. We got professional scouts on the way for 3DB. We'll ride on board with him and see how he's doing as he continues sending out more scouts across the map. I suspect he's going to move up to 7 scouts. We can actually see him right there. He's actually going up even more than that, going up to 8 scouts. And this is the point where Marine Lord's got to be a little bit careful. I mean, you don't want to get overwhelmed with those spearmen. This is always something that you've got to be very, very cautious of. Professional scouts come through. So now the opportunity to pick up and steal away some of those deer from his opponent is here. He's actually forced out a pretty decent response here. And I like the way that B is opened here. Think about it, okay? So first and foremost, he's made Marine Lord respond. Marine Lord's had to respond with the barracks, with spearmen. And that's something that he doesn't want to do. He just wants to get that second town center up as quickly as possible. But then with that response, he's also said, well, I'm going to turn that into an economic advantage. And now begins stealing away. We've got some Grand Theft venison coming in right now, stealing away some of the deer here. Now he's actually going to be taking this entire hunt. And against China, that feels really bad because China, they need their extra hunts really, really badly. And we can see right now that you've got Barbican of the Sun coming down right on top of that hunt. Marine Lord knows what is up. He knows exactly what he's going for. You don't make that many scouts unless you're going professional scouts. But where does B go from here? It looks like it might be a bit of a feudal play. We do see that he's going to be looking to pick up archers as well as Sofa. And I feel like Sofa in the feudal age are probably a little bit, I wouldn't say dangerous, but a little bit silly. They're definitely not as strong. They really do spike with their unique technology, which is this one right here. Imported armor. And that's going to give them a huge bonus, an extra 2 armor against, oh, look at this. He's actually bringing in the ball. Really smart move here by Marine Lord. Going to be tanking it up with the scout on the front. He's got to be careful not to lose that scout. Does surround the boar. And should be fine. Very well played there. And now going to be looking to exhaust or put the mill down. The thing is, I would be honestly going after the deer before I would be going after the boar. Even though I think the boar does gather faster, I would still be going for it just because B is the kind of guy who is going to steal these away, right? Like, I guarantee you there is going to be scouts coming in here and he's going to be looking to steal them away. And now we see them coming across the map. So, yeah, I would almost be tempted to say, Marine Lord, just try walling in your villages, walling in your deer. Otherwise, you are going to lose them. And we do see a scout come out, losing its life. We're right on board with B as he begins pushing up. You can see Marine Lord does spot him out as he continues moving down towards the south side of the base. Spearman moving out a little bit too far here. Marine Lord still yet to make a play for that second town center. Behind this B, his food economy is incredibly safe. Zhuge Nu going to be coming out here as well from Marine Lord. Looking to dish out a little bit more damage, but the mobility, there is unrivaled mobility here from the Malians. 1.88 movement speed, very, very quick. Now going to be heading in, looking to try and pick off some villagers. Will actually get in on the backside. He runs straight through, realizing that the spears could pincer him, and decides to evacuate the dance floor, and a stable gets spotted here. So B going to be spotting out that stable from Marine Lord, and take a look at the production that we've got back here. I think he's got the 7 deer carcasses all sitting on top of each other. It can be a little bit hard when you get into that position and your villagers are trying to compete or competing with each other. But Spearman numbers looking here, looking good. Good control from Marine Lord. He does lose 1. Now Sofa coming in. Beautiful micro coming through from both of these players. And look how quick these scouts are. So B, expect him to make a move on that northern position sooner or later. We now see him moving up towards that way. Zhuge Nu looking to defend. It's the classic Chinese defense of Zhuge Nu and the spears. Feels good. Now another scout going to be coming out here. Remember, all these warrior scouts have got bonus damage versus the scout. And now going to be coming in. Villagers jump inside. There's no room here for the Imperial official. He looks to just dive the town center. Or dive the position. It's Grand Theft Venison coming in right now. One of them going to be taken away. Where are the rest of them? And all the rest there we go. Now he's looping back around. I think he was trying to pick up the ball right there. B, you can't pick up a ball and you can't even eat the ball, mate. You're playing the Malians. Back over towards that south side. We've still got Marine Lord looking to push out at the same time. We've got the Barbican just firing down upon the deer, or upon the warrior scouts, and he's picked up a few of them and moved them away. I think he's up to a total of 3 that he's taken, but look at this control. Marine Lord doing a really good job of just keeping the deer on the other side of the Barbican, basically saying, hey mate, you're not getting any of these. So once again, going to be going back to that boar. Now, I wish we could click on that boar, but it's so difficult. Oh, there we go. I think, was it 1,170 I think I saw? Oh, it's going to be tough. It's going to be too tough. We're going to have to turn our attention back towards this position. And now Marine Lord continuing to defend. Shukanu numbers not the best, but has he picked up +1 yet? Not just yet. No upgrades coming through from either of these players. We can see there's is it Steeled Arrow? I want to say Steeled Arrow. Steeled Arrow on the way through. Balanced Projectile is going to be +2 there. And upgrades coming in. We've got Wheelbarrow for both, Double Broadaxe for B, and only the Fertilization, or Horticulture rather, for Marine Lord. We'll switch it over to the income per minute so you guys can see exactly how much these guys are pulling in every minute of this game. And B definitely fighting for his tournament life right now. If he loses this game, he is out of the tournament. So imperative that he picks up a victory here. But let's see. There we go. Yeah, 800 food. So, yeah, I don't know. I really do feel like you probably just want to try and take the deer first and then get the boar later. I think the boar gathers faster than the deer by quite a bit. So maybe that's his thinking behind it. But, yeah, I can't help but feel like it's almost guaranteed that you're going to be getting challenged on that hunt. But I think it's smart that he moved out there to cover it. Chukanu numbers starting to look a little bit better. Still yet to expand out to that second TC. I'm starting to worry a little bit about Marine Lord and his macro at this point in time, stacking up a lot of resources. No sign of stone just yet, he says, as the stone outcropping has a mining camp blueprint ready to go. And look at the production coming in from B. This is kind of crazy how out of hand this is getting. 3rd archery range coming in. He's already on the double stable, and we have javelin throwers coming in. And this is the part that concerns me, right? Like, you've kind of broken even up until this point. He's got a 10 population lead at the moment, but it feels like it's very much broken even. Like, you've got your head on the population, but you've lost out a lot of the food, and it means that the farm transition is going to have to come in sooner. And if Marine Lord does look to farm transition, it's going to make it difficult for him. It's going to make it really difficult because there is a timing window that B can look to hit, typically around, you know, the 22, 24-minute mark, somewhere around there in that castle age. Now Marine Lord going to be looking to push out. Not a lot of spears here. He's got to be careful. Spearman numbers definitely look decent when you compare them to the Sofa, but the problem that you're going to have is the Javelin are going to eat through the Jugunu, and it's going to leave not a lot for the Spearman to protect. And now we see that +1 ranged armor coming in against the +1 ranged attack. Only 1 damage a pop coming in on those Javelin throwers from the Jugunu. You can see just how quickly they get taken out. So much damage. 12 damage coming in. And this is where it gets hard for Marine Lord to defend. I mean, he's got the stable, and we do see he's going to be moving into Horseman. But the question is he going to have enough time? And I suspect he probably won't have enough time to build up a decent force here. Spearmen were moving out. Great micro coming in from B. He's got his archers are taking out the spears. His javelins are taking out the Chukunu. So he's got 2 major threats up against those Chukunu. So really well played. Now the Horseman finally going to be coming out. Let's see if he's able to hold on. Another archery range going to be going down. We enter into the cinematic mode as Marine Lord tries to defend for his life right now. He's really putting the pedal to the metal on the defense. You can just see the reinforcements flooding in here. 2 more Sofa going to be joining in. And continues just teetering. You can tell that neither of them wants to commit. They know, because if they commit here, you're just going to be fighting into enemy reinforcements. And now the Javelin numbers are starting to really build up here. Spearman going to be moving out the front. Also got the Horseman coming through. We've got ourselves a classic matchup right now. And the Malians looking to hold on. Beautiful micro coming out from B. Going to be looking to run a screen on the front side. Manages to do it. Loops everything back in. And now all of a sudden, Marine Lord looks to try and clean him up. Spearman numbers are looking plentiful here. Might have to pull a couple of them back, though. And indeed decides to head a separate way. Let's ride on board with Marine Lord and see how he's doing with regard to that macro. Adding in walls towards the north. Down towards the south. He's completely walled in. Only 1 entrance available, and it's the front door. It's always important. Oh, look at this. He's so close to aging up. If I'm Marine Lord right now, I'm throwing down a wall here with like 4 or 5 villagers. You don't want your enemy to get in. You're dropping down your landmark in the back. You're waiting for a nest of bees, and that's going to take you through, and that should give you the ability to to survive. The problem is, don't push out right now, Marine Lord. This is not the right time to push. You just want to chill. You're so close to aging up, and he's just spent all of his resources. He was so close to aging up. He was barely 100 resources away. And sure, your enemy's going to be, you know, slowly but steadily working through that wall, but it buys you time. It buys you time. And there's resources up here that you can look to take. Second TC coming down. He's got access to gold. He's got access to wood. He's got access to everything he needs. And now going to be pushing out a bit of a mistake coming through from Marine Lord. I'm not sure exactly why he's looking to fight this. What does he think is going to happen if he doesn't fight this? Marine Lord, don't do it. Don't fight it right now. His enemy's got such a huge advantage when it comes to his ability to kite. You're going to continue forcing him away. And B says, no, I don't want to fight. I'm not sure exactly why that is. The spearman numbers aren't anywhere near enough of a threat. Reinforcements going to be coming in, and this is the consequence of fighting or pushing in towards an opponent, is that the reinforcements are going to be thicker and faster the closer you get to their base, and that's exactly what happens here. The tides begin to turn, age up nowhere in sight, 1,200 gold being stacked up here. Definitely more than enough resources to age up and get yourself a nest of bees or two. I tell you what, Marine Lord, I can't help but feel like just a wall at the front and a nest of bees would have been more than enough. But now going to be forced back away from this position. Still trying to hold on. The Chukunu numbers are the only thing that are keeping this threat at bay. The problem that you're going to have is there are 2 units here to deal with the Chukunu, and all of the production now getting thrown down on the front side here from Marine Lord. He's looking to put the pedal to the metal, get that final gear going. The problem that he's going to have is these numbers. I mean, this was the problem with pushing out, is that the moment that he pushed out, he just kind of said, I'm going to commit my units, but you can't match the production of the Malians at this point in the game. It's just way too great. Chukunu still stomping through. Chukunu still absolutely eviscerating that front line. Donzo's going to get added in. Non-stop action in this game. And Marine Lord, absolutely no sign of going to Castle Age at this point. He has backed himself away from it. Only 377 food a minute. And you can attribute that to the fact he doesn't have access to that hunt. That hunt is gone. So he's going to have to start thinking about a farm transition. And this is the problem that he's got. Because right now, he's got so much wood, so much gold. And what unit needs wood and gold? It's the nest of bees, baby. It could have saved him right now. And the pressure just keeps on coming. Meanwhile, behind this, you've got cows, you've got deer, you've got sheep under that town center. And it's non-stop. Javelin throwing numbers really building up here. How many are we talking? We're talking 10 javelins. More than enough to deal with this. And Marine Lord gets forced back. Going to be losing 5 villagers. He's trying to get fortifications through on that outpost. No villagers at all to the south side. All up towards the north. And there is the farm transition coming in at 17 minutes. He still has access to berries in the back, but nowhere near as efficient as something like farms. But obviously farms a little bit more expensive. Spends all of his resources on farms. Sitting on 1,800 gold at the moment. It is amazing to me that still we see Chinese players, the world's best Chinese players, yet to adapt to the new Chinese. And that's the Chinese with more Imperial officials. Because more Imperial officials you've got, the more gold you're collecting. If we take a look at his gold, he's got 0 villagers on gold. I think he's doing a little bit of trading potentially. And now Marine Lord really going to be under pressure. Remember, this is the second game in this series. B needs to bring it back. He lost the first one. He's down 1-0 in this series against Marine Lord. And it looks like this could be the one to take it to a tiebreaker. More reinforcements continuing to stream in. He is committing heavily to this feudal age push, but keep an eye on those resources. He's stacking them up, and he's thinking about castle. Expect to see... Do we see a big cow landmark? No, it's going to be the Faruma garrison that gets dropped down. So even despite the late stage of this game, he still looks to go for a Faruma garrison at the 18-minute mark. And that's just going to continue pumping out units even faster. I suspect as soon as Castle Age gets hit, Marine Lords is just going to surrender. I mean, already you're outnumbered 2-1, and then you throw in the tech advantage, and it's just... That's surely all she wrote from that position onward. Now going to start losing the production. And Marine Lord, yeah, he's going to... I'm waiting for it. 3, 2, 1. Where is it? It didn't happen just yet. I'm just waiting for the GG go next. But I guess it's a tournament game, isn't it? So whenever it's a tournament game, people are going to be playing a little bit more, a little bit more conservatively. Upgrades starting to come through. We see the veterancy on the sofa, as well as imported armor. We see +2 coming through. So these units are going to have a huge amount of armor in here. A little bit of a counter attack from Marine Lord, trying to draw the enemy away, but 3DB is not going to take any bite of that bait. He doesn't want it. He's not one of those cockroaches. Do not worry, my friend. He's not going to take that bait. But take a look at this. Huge farm transition at the back. If he loses that, everything is gone from here. He's not going to be able to keep the production up. Diving underneath the town centers, we enter into the cinematic mode once again. As Marine Lord looks to try and defend against the castle age units of his opponent, the imported armor, all the +2 upgrades, and good game gets called. We're going to game number 3. I know this has been the first one we've casted from this series, but if you want to see the first one, go and check out EGC TV. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can catch them live. Remember, 2 hours after this video gets posted, EGC TV will be live. So I'll catch you over there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.